Hello, my name is Jared Parks, and I will be presenting on behalf of my group. The title of our project is the OnQ CRM at Hilton Worldwide. Again, my name is Jared Parks, and I'm presenting this on behalf of Bharat Brahmakari, Lisa Weatherby, and Frank Weber, who also goes by Jason. So I might refer to him as Frank or Jason throughout this. I apologize for that. It's the same person. He is the member of our team that presented this OnQ CRM to our group as the subject matter for this project. And I think it's a great choice. I've worked in the hotel business. He currently works for Hilton. And just having that background, I think it's a great choice. And I think as we go through this project, you'll feel the same way. So I will start by kind of just giving a Hilton overview. We'll talk about Conrad Hilton, who founded the company, and then discuss the size and breadth of the portfolio. So I feel like pretty much everybody has an understanding of what Hilton is. They're one of the largest hotel companies in the world, and a major player in the hospitality industry. Their corporation has been on the cutting edge of innovation since its inception and is constantly upgrading systems to allow better customer service and decision support. Um, Conrad Hilton, the background story in this is very interesting, I think. He went to Cisco, Texas during the oil boom of the early 20th century to buy a bank. When this deal fell through, he purchased a local 40-room hotel. The demand was so great, the profits quickly allowed him to expand. This was followed by the purchase of additional properties across the country. His enterprise thrived until the height of the Depression. His hotel group was in danger of bankruptcy. Although he lost several hotels, he weathered the storm and began to rebuild the organization. Conrad Hilton was a very savvy, innovative entrepreneur. His vision was to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality. The tradition continues today, and Hilton's worldwide mission to be the preeminent global hospitality company, the first choice of guests, team members, and owners alike. So I feel like the kind of story is just is very important. One thing you'll get from this project, one of the main underlying themes is customer satisfaction and Hilton's emphasis on it. Touching on the hotel portfolio, it's very important as we go through this project to understand the size of their business. Um, the portfolio consists of 4,400 hotels, 730,000 rooms in 97 countries. These properties are run by more than 300,000 team members. So again, large company, interesting backstory. Um, and I think that pretty much everybody in this class has either probably stayed in one of the hotels or at least familiar with their business. So even as a guest of a hotel, I think a lot of this will sink into you, even if you've never actually worked in the business itself. So moving right on into kind of the meat of the project, I'll put off the Porter's five forces real quickly. The Porter's five forces, the five forces being bargaining power of customers, threat of new entrants, threat of substitute products, competitive rivalry within an industry, and bargaining power of suppliers. I will go ahead and start with the bargaining powers of suppliers. For the hotel industry, it's very low. There's considerable competition among existing suppliers to the industry. The existing suppliers are dependent on a large volume of product sales to secure the profits necessary to remain viable. Moving on to the bargaining power of customers, it is also very low. The hospitality industry is strictly a supply and demand market. The overall demand for a particular location sets the market price. The intensity of existing rivalry is high. Since this is a highly dynamic environment, each firm must be aware of location-dependent factors and manage the property accordingly. The threat of substitutes in the industry can be high. The international players mitigate this force through diversification. The related brand and products cover many of the substitutes that are available. And lastly, the threat of new competitors is very low. The barriers to entry are extremely high, both in resource and in time. So the five forces favor the existing firms. The larger the firm, the greater are the economies of scale. The longer a firm that is well managed is in operation, the more diverse its holdings and the greater its brand loyalty, and the greater are its abilities to overcome the threat of substitutes. While small firms perform well, they are no challenge to the mega players. So diving right into the project overview, OnQ client relationship management system is a system employed at Hilton Worldwide across each of the brands that Hilton operates. Internally, the CRM is referred to as customers really matter. Again, underlying theme of this whole project, customers are the main focal point. Customers really matter, being with the representation of CRM, very important. Um, the principle under which employees relate to customers, again, that's the internal CRM. So in 2003, the first version of OnQ was implemented on a $50 million integration and standardization project. This project is ongoing and constantly under review for improvement and business process redesign. Our goal is to choose the features we wish to include in the next version and design implement these features. I'm going to go ahead and hop to the next slide here because I kind of touched on it there, but with the goal of our goal for this project. But tying in the goals with Hilton and their mission statement is to be the preeminent global hospitality company, the first choice of guests, team members, and owners alike. The corporate values are hospitality, integrity, leadership, teamwork, ownership, and now. Corporate mantra is customer really matter. Customers really matter. And another one of Conrad Hilton's visions is to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality. Again, regurgitating some of that came from earlier, but I think it's really important, especially as we continue kind of diving into the technical piece, to understand that the whole reason we're even looking to make a change to the system is to enhance the customer satisfaction. And I think that's going to be very important as we move forward in this project. It's also very important to understand how this is going to align with Hilton's organizational strategy. OnQ is the internal component of Hilton's CRM system. They have branded this crucial component of the IT infrastructure as data-driven hospitality. The OnQ system undergoes constant review and redesign in order to enhance its ability to provide 100% customer satisfaction. This project will further expand efforts to achieve 100% satisfaction in dealing with Hilton's customers. The ultimate goal of this system is to create a competitive advantage for Hilton in customer satisfaction and loyalty. The value add here is in achieving their goals, Hilton builds brand loyalty among its customers. Changes to OnQ successfully build the existing brand loyalty and reach new customers by anticipating and fulfilling their wants and needs. This brand loyalty results in repeat business and greater profits for the organization. So I think it's pretty obvious the impact that this can have on the business and why it's important and why our group feels like it's necessary in order to continue to enhance that customer experience and building relationships. Project identification. The as-is system, the current data cache for OnQ consists of massive amounts of data in unprocessed form. While this raw data is easily displayed, it can be overwhelming to the user. Decisions must be made in a timely manner, and initial contact check-in may be the only opportunity to increase customer satisfaction for a given stay. That last sentence is very important. Check-in is probably the most important interaction with a customer because it's the first impression. Just like anything else in life, if you get off to a rocky start, no matter what you do. Same with checking in guests at a hotel. Even if that guest is only staying one night, the check-in process is very important. And for the as-is system to just have a bunch of raw data and nothing specific, kind of what we're proposing, these dashboards, is going to be very important for the success. The current problem is that the system provides an overwhelming amount of data about the customer. It does not provide any real DSS type tools to the employee. Simply presenting the data in raw form does little to aid the employee in selecting the items that are important to the customer today without guidance from a DSS. An employee is required to make a decision based on a quick scan of what could be a large volume of data in a relatively short period of time. So obviously the current problem is, there's a risk of not being able to set an employee up for success with a customer. And as mentioned earlier in the presentation, that's what Hilton is all about. So the DSS is going to be very important for employees to be successful by giving them information quickly so that they can make decisions. So there are three alternatives for resolving our problem. The problem can be addressed by performing a business process improvement on this current system. The current system could be subjected to a business process redesign, or the current system could be abandoned in favor of a system that could be outsourced. Um, I'm sorry, developed outside the company output. Yeah, these alternatives will vary in impact on the CRM function. It should be carefully considered. Uh, we are going with BPI, the business process improvement route. The really the reason is quite simple. Um, it's going to take the least amount of time to implement. The changes would involve an analysis of data which is currently available to the current system. This could be a viable alternative. An independent module could be integrated to run and process data in the customer record and display alerts on the existing screen. This would be the least disruptive solution. And that's very important. As mentioned earlier, the on-queue integration has been going on for quite some time. A lot of money spent. So no real need to reinvent the wheel here. It is very important to add this tool as a layer on top of the existing system. And we think that that is going to be the way that we're the most successful. I will now give a quick high level view of this feasibility study that we did. Technologically, the project is feasible. Current IT team is familiar with the application. They are capable of redefining the system. The IT team has sufficient staff to devote to this project and produce a viable product. The project does not require any new and unfamiliar technology. It will run on the existing network and interface with our existing enterprise database management system. The economic piece, the economic feasibility of this project is yet to be determined. Until an estimated budget can be established, it will be difficult to determine the metrics and compare them to acceptable levels of expenditure, return on investment, break-even analysis, etc. And from an organizational standpoint, the feasibility study shows that will partially depend on which alternative is chosen. But going with option one, or I'm sorry, um, the business process improvement. My apologies. Um, it helps set the employees up for success as they are familiar with the system they use on a regular basis. It would not alter the processes that are currently in place unless the outsourced option was chosen. So I feel like going with the improvement route is probably the best option. So now I'm going to move on to the project scope and also the design acquisition strategy. The project scope, the DSS dashboard will affect the entire OnQ internal operations subsystem. Each team member will have role-specific summaries, options, and tracking functions based on specific role the team member is currently performing. The primary impact will involve the reservations, registration, and complaint resolution function of OnQ. The design acquisition strategy. Um, Hilton went under aggressive growth in the hospitality industry with its wide variety of products and services. This dates back to 2006. Hilton is determined to be the leader in their respective industry with the acquisition of numerous hotel chains such as Embassy Suites, Homewood Suites, Hampton Inn, and Doubletree Hotels, resulting in major expansions of the Hilton brand. Hilton's goal is to design a system that will allow them flexibility and creativity in the way they solve business problems. And by doing so, Hilton will take a unique approach with its system design. So, designing a system that can handle the rapid growth is very very important. And our next bullet here, pros cons of the strategy. I'm actually going to go to the next slide because we actually are utilizing the alternative matrix strategy in order to organize any pros and cons of their acquisition decision strategy. The alternative strategy will evaluate criteria for technical, economic, and organizational issues for Hilton. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next slide. You guys can actually see the alternative matrix strategy and what we're looking at here. Take some time and look at this. This is what our group came up with um, on behalf of our project. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the user face design portion. And this is where we kind of really get into the meat of what this new functionality can do. The dashboards will be mainly comprised of graphical representation of data, pictorial representation of data. The graphical representation can either be in the form of bar charts, pie charts, heat point graph, etc. The use of Flash tools like Adobe Flash for the creation of user-friendly and interactive dashboards enables the user in viewing the useful information and arriving at insights. Clicking on a section of graph would allow the user to drill down into specific information. And global search employs a generic search algorithm for searching the required data in the whole application, whereas the column search enables the user to narrow the search into the required attributes. That's a lot of information, but it's laid out in this format for a simple reason. It's very important to understand that we're increasing the functionality of this program by allowing the user to see data in a clear format, but also give them the ability to kind of deep dive into it as needed. As we kind of move through these next couple of slides, you'll see examples of what this means. It's very important. I've been in that role, being that front desk agent where, you need clear visibility to information, but you don't have it. Either you have a bunch of information and can't really use it, or you just don't know where to find it. I think this is really going to help Hilton. So here's the actual example, user interface design continued. You can actually see what's going on here, kind of see what this dashboard would look like. I'll skip on to the next one. Here's another one, kind of a drill down on what's going on. Bar chart, pie chart. The headings are very important here. Again, just more flexibility for the employee. The implementation phase, development. The requirements defined clearly. The development is continued by building the necessary elements for the dashboard, graphs, and embedding Flash in the pages for making the pages interactive. Again, keeping the things interactive, keeping information available, let the employee make the decision on how to use it. Drill down and drill up approach are implemented using interactive tools for enabling the user to get the most out of the existing data. Just gives the employee more flexibility, setting them up for success. Testing, training, and maintenance. These three are extremely important. Not only to get off the right start, but continue on that path. Then moving forward, what are you going to do to development? I'm not going to read through each one of these bullets, but I think throughout the course of this class, testing is imperative. The training the employees on how to use it. Employees at various levels in the organization, frontline employees all the way to management, their background with technology varies. Training is going to be key. Management making the right decision on how to implement training and how to do follow-up training is going to be imperative for the success. And maintenance is always key, especially in information technology, especially as you're working in an environment that needs to be continuously upgraded and monitored. When you're dealing with dashboards and data, it's very important to make sure everything's up and running accurately. Data storage design, the data, the use, the suggested format, all pretty straightforward here. And then here, what business needs to do? Plan for system upgrade, contingency plan, technology related changes, managerial changes. All this is just kind of business planning, and it's very important for the success of this project. And here's a look at the system itself. All the supporting systems, the DSS, Delphi Sales support, is sitting right there. And how it all ties together with the enterprise database. So it's kind of a high-level look at what we're doing. Here's a Gantt chart of the actual project. So just kind of want to give a little snippet of kind of what's going on here. If you look at the bottom, the initials for each team member and what their various tasks were and what we did moving through completion. And these next few slides are going to represent the actual prototype of our project. So you'll actually see the Hilton DSS dashboard is what this is labeled. If you look at the bottom here, team member Jay Weber, that's Jason. And then you'll have the headings and the statuses of kind of what would look there. So the Hilton Honors number, HH, has 1345. That's going to be imperative. That's how you build customer loyalty. And this is what's going to allow employees to really kind of help push that along further. Here, drill down on the upgrades. Very important for Hilton Honors members, especially as they go higher up. They are allowed to get, and most important, um, the Hilton Honors drill down links to the Hilton Honors system, accesses customer records using customers' Hilton Honors number, and returns to the SS dashboard on exit. This is pretty straightforward. Hilton Honors is very important. Alliances with companies like American Express to get additional points based on purchases, etc. The Hilton Honors system is key to success of any property in the portfolio for Hilton and for Hilton overall. So this is just another example of where this ties in to benefit the overall business. So this is just going to kind of be the wrap up conclusion of the presentation. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we hope that you think of this project during your next hotel stay. I know it sounds kind of kitschy, but I'm serious. If you're a frequent hotel patron, I travel a lot for my job, and I stay at Marriott's. And throughout this project, I thought of both sides. As an employee standpoint as a front desk agent, ops manager, and also as a regular guest. When my Marriott number, or in this case, a Hilton Honor number, is populated, I want that front desk agent to understand what I'm looking for. Our DSS solution here, this add-on feature, basically um, this new program that will be implemented with the OnQ system, will help those frontline employees understand what this guest wants, needs, etc. Maybe either complaints or room upgrades, specific wants and needs. It's very key. This project was great for me personally. I think I really enjoyed working with my team, so I hope you enjoyed as well. I apologize if I might have mumbled or stumbled a few times, but I mean, it was a great project, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody, and everybody have a great rest of the semester.